Hey guys, part three of the sacrifice of Dee Dee Blanchard. It's a shame, guys. Before I start, guys, please like, subscribe, and share. And can we engage in the comments a little bit, man? Get talking and stuff a little bit, just to push them out, man. We got to get this in more eyes. Not for me. I don't care. It's not for me. I'm not going to make any money. I don't care about anything like that. I am just doing this to get this out that this evil exists. It's everywhere. And what the hell is going on? We have to wake up. We are in a spiritual battle like never before. And that's what we need to do. So, whether you want to believe this or not, I feel like I'm doing the Lord's work exposing this. Okay? Knowledge is power. And until you at least know about something, right? You certainly can't do anything about it. And one of the greatest tricks the devil ever pulled was making people think that he does not exist. And there you have it. That's real, guys. Okay, so I know that I'm doing the Lord's work. I know that. I know that I am being driven to do this. I know there's a supernatural pull on me that makes you want to do this. I know that. Okay? And whether you all want to believe it or not, if you like, subscribe, and share, I'm not like one of these prosperity people. Pay me some money and the Lord is going to double it back to you because there's a wealth transfer. Yeah, there's a wealth transfer, all right, from the middle class to the upper wealthy elites, but that's another video too. I'm not asking for anything like that. I'm asking this for the truth and for the Lord, okay? The more you all do comments and like and subscribe and share, do all the things, the more we can push this out to people to see. Not for me, for the truth, and therefore for our Lord. Okay? Because that helps. Every little bit helps you guys. You know that. I don't want any money. I don't need any money. Every little bit helps, guys. And you can know that you're helping God expose the evil in these end times. All right? All right, let's go. We're going to talk about the ritual specifically and the sacrifice in this one, okay? Okay, so we know the players, right? We already said David's the master of it, giving direction. His wife is filming it. We've got, of course, Gypsy, Ace Bannister, and Dan Gladwell. Okay, now let me set the scene for you. Like I said, they've all got those black or red robes on them. Okay, they may have the big, huge hoods that they could have over, because no one's supposed to see anyone's identity, although they know who one another is, but they film it. It's only the person that's the center of it, the focus of it, the one performing it, the one that's gaining something. That would be her. Everyone else has got a mask on, or they just had them that go like this and go down in just big, simple robes. But they would be black or red. Okay? Now, remember, with a Vision Con, that was a big thing. David Blanchard and his wife and all them, they make costumes and shit, elaborate ones and all this shit. It would be nothing for them to even themselves put together these robes. They know where to get the fabric and put them together. I don't know what kind of skills they have with sewing and shit. I don't know. But that wouldn't be a big deal to fashion just a big robe that hangs on you. I mean, shit. There's got to be a pattern in the store for that. You even know how to sew half-ass, you could do that, right? Or they can purchase them somewhere, okay? So they would have been wearing those. You can't just send them some fucking video of just some people hanging out in shorts and tank tops and shit, going, hey, wow, let's conjure up the devil. It's not like that, really, guys. Okay, so it's formal. This is a formal thing, guys. They're going to give you a bunch of opportunities to make money, and they're going to hand you money. They're going to do all these things and always give you connections and protect you legally if things come up and all this. Okay, it's a formal, real thing. Okay, let me not get too far out because I've only got 15 minutes. I got to shut it down. Remember? All right. An Ash Blonde 6 somewhere has got to be shitting her pants, man. Because she knows everything. When she's watching this series of videos, she knows everything I'm saying is the truth and is what happened that night. And she's thinking back. Mark my words, believe it. She's thinking back. Oh my God, he's telling it exactly what happened, man. Holy fuck, I can't believe this. Somewhere Ash Blonde 6 is shitting her pants. Trust. Okay, so we know the players. Nick is the sixth one, the scapegoat, who comes later. I'll explain that, okay? He's part of the ritual. All right. So they're doing all these torturous things to her for whatever amount of time. They're filming it. And then what comes to the point where right around midnight or before midnight or right after midnight. This is where the date discrepancy comes in. Okay? The torture and shit was on the 9th. At midnight, it goes to the 10th, guys. We all know that. And they want to do this right around midnight. And there's other sects of people and groups that like to do it around 3:33 in the morning. We know about the threes, okay? But that's something else. That's the witching hour. That's something different, okay? I'll make a video on that one day, okay? For this is a Judas sacrifice. Close around midnight. You want around a new beginning, okay? Right before leading up to it, really right at midnight. All she did was slit her throat. Then they're instantly gone. The soul's traveling away. That's it. Just that gone. They could have timed it right at midnight. That would be the best way to do it. Just time it right at midnight. And then David would have probably made a big deal about the time being midnight on the video and all this shit. But right around midnight, then after the torturing and all this shit, then she slit her mother's throat from ear to ear. And we know that. We see that. And you guys, with a sharp, sharp knife, you don't even feel that. Once it touches the carotid artery, it's gone, man. You're gone. The blood's gone. You're gone. So it's really a really humane way to do it. That's why they butcher animals that way. You're supposed to. That's the most humane way to kill someone. Not giving you any ideas, but as soon as it touches it, they're gone, man. They don't feel shit. They're gone. Okay? All right, so they would have held her head in such a way as not to make such a huge mess, guys, because if someone's standing up or you're fighting someone or whatever, or you come behind and you just slit their throat, so much blood is going to come out and go everywhere. But the thing with this is you sever the carotid arteries, the pumping thing is going to stop immediately, right? Because so much blood volume is going to be gone so quick that there's not enough pressure. Your whole heart and the whole circulatory system runs on pressure. It's pulsing pressure through there. As soon as you do that, and the volume, the vessels are that big. If they're full, they got high blood pressure. If they lose it, then their blood pressure is so low, the blood's not going to spurt anymore, right? Okay, so they'd have her laying in such a way then that when she slit her throat, they would drain the blood into a basin. Okay, now all I know is that this was done and that she drank her blood, because we had these people tell us this. A bunch of different people tell us that Ace Bannister was bragging about it, and Dan Glidewell. But let me get back to this, how it goes. She slit the blood, they did in the basin, okay? And then they threw most of it away. They would have flushed it down the toilet or put it down the drain probably. Unless they had it for some other weird purpose that I don't know about. They may have. They may have took it, but just dispose of most of it. But you fill up a goblet. Now, David Blanchard would have obtained this goblet, a special old goblet that's used for this. He would have obtained it and then would have given it back when he gave him the film of it, right? It's an old goblet, probably of pewter or something, the softer like silver metal, and around it's encrusted with precious metals like jade and garnets and rubies and shit, okay? This is for real, and it's old, and it's for this. They would have put blood in that. They got to pass it around and drink it in the line formation. It's all filmed. Gypsy has to start. The reason we know this is because Ace and Dan joke about it and think it's funny that Gypsy had to plug her nose and was gagging and crying and all this, trying to swallow down her mom's blood, which, holy shit, I'd be gagging and freaking out too. Now, you guys, they're not drinking a whole bunch of blood like vampires, okay? They're not just guggling. They all just take a sip. It's symbolic. She just has to go first because it's her sacrifice. Out of that goblet, they drink it, and then they all pass around. They drink a little bit is all, and it's gone. Okay? That's it. It's symbolic, but it's part of it, and it needs to be in the film. Okay? The rest of the blood they would have got rid of, which means, down the drains. These police, of course, they didn't do anything they should have done. They missed everything, and I'll tell you about it in another video, all of it. They should have illuminated that whole house. They would have saw blood all over the kitchen, all over the house, all over everywhere. And they should have taken the pipes out of any of the bathrooms, the kitchen. They should have took the sinks, the pipes. They should have took her whole fucking bed. They knew that body was moved in a sheet. They knew that. They took her in a sheet, picked her up, and moved her ass. They knew that by a number of things. They knew a body was fucking moved. They should have took that whole mattress. They should have ripped up the carpet. There was blood everywhere. If they would have done luminol, they should have ripped up that vinyl or it was either vinyl or linoleum floor in the kitchen. They would have ripped that up and taken that to the lab, the carpet. They would have done the whole fucking thing. There was blood all over the fucking place, man. That the eye could see. If they would have luminoled it and turned the dark light on, holy fuck, that place looks... So the police didn't do anything they were supposed to do. The goal was put the onus off of her onto him. He's a maniac. Let's get plea agreements and just sweep this under the rug. They never dreamed he'd take it to trial and get this shit over with. Okay? That was the deal. Of course, she wasn't supposed to be caught in her sacrifice. No one ever does that. But anyway, let me get back to this. They drain the blood, they drink it, all that. Then Dan, David, and Ace put her in a sheet and they move her back to the bed. Now, they had to put those fabric softener sheets down. They didn't do that while she was still up walking around. At one point when she's incapacitated, they did that. Okay? And then they moved her on top of it. They moved her there. Remember about the middle of this, she texts Nick Godejohn around 11 o'clock at night. She says, I have to finish up my deal first before he comes over, right? This is the deal. Literally her deal. That literally is what she was talking about. People say, oh, she was off fucking Dan. That is not what that was. This is what it was. Dan was there. This deal. Okay? There's the text. And then Nicholas comes on the 10th. That's the confusion. Okay? She was probably actually killed right at the end of the 9th or right at the beginning of the 10th or whatever. So Nicholas Godejohn comes later. But anyway, all right. So I told you that they recorded everything. We've told you that. Okay. I told you about the blood drinking, all that shit. And it's all on film, guys. All right. So then now they got to prep to get ready for Nick. They have to fool Nick. Okay? This is the deal. They have to fool Nick. So they clean up as much as they can. They got her in this room, darkly. You know, it's dark in there. Okay? They have this recording. But I'm going to get that into the next video because we're running out of time. Okay? But they totally tricked Nick. And they told Nick, okay, after he come out of the room from, with Dee Dee, and I believe this is the one lie that he told to try to cover Gypsy. Gypsy went in there and helped him, I believe. I don't know this for sure, but I believe she had to help him. That dude couldn't hurt a flea. You ask anyone that's ever known him, that dude cannot hurt a flea. Ask him in prison now. They'll tell you that too, I bet. That dude wouldn't hurt a flea. I believe she went in there and had to help him. But this is what happened when he came out. She's all naked and ready to go screw him and all that, right? Just like a Jezebel. Use sex right away, right? Get their mind off of everything. Let's just use sex, like a fucking Jezebel whore that she is. All right. Okay, you know what? I have to stop here. So this is the end of part 3, and I'm going to work on part 4. See you in the next one.